And hello. We've got some late comms here. Sorry for, for joining the last minute. We got this restream at the last minute too. We got ourselves a multi-category tournament 2022 race between Incompetent Perfectionist and Piece of Soap. I'm going to be referring to Incompetent Perfectionist as IP for the rest of the stream. That's just way too many syllables. And yeah, kind of got to rush through the intro here. So we got a green Bryn rando start, which is kind of nice. Runners got, because right off the bat, they have access to 5 items. One of those had to be Morph Ball, which they got. They also got some missiles and power bombs. Looks like they found some supers as well, and more supers. So Edakun's being very kind to them, giving them the supers they needed, and so that they could check for more supers there. Both runners also found the top of one of the West Meridia portals, which had 2 items in it. We still have 3 majors left in Green Bryn, so I'm sure the runners are going to want to clear those out. The way this seat's been going, or the way these Week 7 seats has been going, one of them is probably going to be at Waterway, and Speed Booster will probably be way far away. Oh, well, there you go. Never mind. Gravity. That's a nice find. Oh, that's interesting. I think you'd still want to clear out Green Bryn, but that does open up West Meridia. 3 more portals there, 2 more items there. We could be seeing some early route divergence. Wouldn't surprise me if one of the runners continues on through Green Bryn and then continues to one of those portals and the other one turns around. There we go. Finally got some sound going. I couldn't hear what the runners were doing. Just got set up so late here. Still no E-tanks, just that one reserve. So I'm sure the runners will be looking for one of those as well. So we do have, I guess gravity does help with this too. You know, we're coming up to some rooms with those big hoppers, side hoppers that can do 80 damage. But with gravity, it will only be 20 damage for the big side hoppers. However, spikes are still going to do 60 damage without that Varia suit. So runners are going to want to be careful if they really want to clear this out. Oh, early charge beam too? Goodness. Runners getting some nice things early after really finding nothing in the first section. Making up for it here. Finding some more supers. Yeah, we'll see which order they want to go in for the checks. Piece of Soap trying to line up that super missile to try to trick the game. So the game, there's a super block there, and it's a special one. Like the developers went out of their way to make that super block extra special so that you couldn't sneak into the back of Spore Spawn. But there's still a way around it if you time the shot correctly. It doesn't. The logic doesn't quite catch that it treats it like it's a regular super block until it's fully on screen, and then it realizes, oh no, it's a special super block. I need to block the user. So that's what the runners are trying to set up there. And when you see the screen kind of shake like that, you hear that rumble sound. That means that you've gotten the trick to work. Yeah, this seat's nice. They both have 2 power bomb packs already as well. That can be kind of a problem in Green Brim when you only have 1 power bomb pack. With 2, they don't really need to worry so much about conserving their power bombs so they can make all these checks. Still 1 major left, and was a little bit of divergence. I don't think either one of them has checked Wave Gate, and then of course Waterway. You know, it's probably still a Waterway. Let's face it. Grav does not reduce heat damage under these settings, under the balanced suits, which can be confusing. Like if you've watched a dash randomizer, it does in those settings, and you can configure Varia randomizer to do so, but it's not set up this way. And both runners going for this. Looks like they both have Moonwalk on, which I like. That makes it really easy to get into this door frame. IP getting it. Looked like Piece of Soap somehow fired too high, missing the grapple block, but also missing the door. That's not that easy to do. He does get it there. And just more supers. Although, even with Charge Beam, obviously it's very nice to find these early super missiles. Because nobody wants to fight Ridley with 300 shot Ridley fight, I think is what it would be. It'd be something ridiculous. And actually, although Ridley, they wouldn't be able to fight anyway. They don't have near enough energy. The gravity doesn't provide the heat protection. But still, when they do get Varia and they do fight Ridley, they'd much rather fight with Seekers. And if they find Dragon, they're going to want to fight with Seekers as well, unless they find something better. All right, Piece of Soap going to check this one item out here. Oh yeah, did IP take a hit from the spikes? Oof, want to be really careful here. You just need 1 super and 1 P shot to take out the side hopper. Wisely opting to just blast it with some supers and not take chances. And a very timely E-tank. That's good. Don't really want to see either runners taking death anyway, but certainly not after all of those checks they just made. All right, we're about to see another area transition. So this is a full area rando. And there's Turian. Of course, there are no items in Turian. If I didn't mention it already, that little number there above the reserve tank, that's the number of major items or unique items left in an area. The runners do know there's still something here. And the other transition is Wreck Ship, which is no major items. They could check the boss, but ooh, it's kind of a waste of time to check the boss because it's most likely not a boss you can fight. But then again, well, Actually, yeah, I would save the boss at the end, come to think of it. Because you could just do this boss last, whatever this boss is. Go find your other stuff. Kind of convenient that Wreck Ship has 0 items here. That the runners will never need to come back to Wreck Ship. Much more common to see that trolley 1 under Wreck Ship, you know. Maybe just that one item you need that you got to come back for later. Because, of course, there's only a few items the runners could check at Wreck Ship right now until Fantoon is killed. One of those items is the far back of Wreck Ship, because we do have Aria Tricks on, but it won't have anything great. Just ammo or E-tanks. So, runners opting to skip it. Although I suppose there's still an opportunity for the seed to be trolley. We could have Varia at Waterway. And Speed Booster could be at the far end of the Earth. We'll see. Yeah, exactly. You don't even have to, like, normally you kill Fantoon and you start thinking about options, and it's really not a priority. The only thing that could possibly open would be as if it's Dragon. I mean, I suppose if it's Kraid too, there's one item there that it could be. This is full countdown, so any item could be important. Not a major minor split or Chozo split. And then killing Dragon means you have another way through or East Meridia, but otherwise, yeah, I don't see the point in even checking this boss. IP's gonna do it anyway. If it's, I mean, watch this. It's gonna watch it be Kraid and Varia's behind Kraid. And then it'll turn out to be extremely important to make this check. I'm sitting here saying there's no reason to do it, so just gonna will it into existence here. I kind of forgot that there could just be an item behind the boss that they could beat. This could also be information. Even if it's Ridley, you get to at least see how many items are in Lone Orb. That's kind of a nice thing about the full countdown. I really like this feature. I had not seen this before. I don't know how new it is. I hadn't seen it before this tournament, and I really like it. Oh, okay. Piece of Soap came down here to farm up some power bombs. I would usually go get those fire fleas to the left of the room up here, but down here you do get 4 all in one go, so this is a reasonable play as well. Is IP going to take on this fight? He has 35 capacity for supers, but he only actually has 5. He just doesn't have anything. I don't know. This could be a tough fight. Does have charge. He could potentially pseudo screw. Oh yeah, he's just giving it up, and I think this is a good play because even if he were successful, it might take him 3 minutes or longer to defeat Dragon with that loadout. If he came in with the full 35 supers, it'd be a different story. But all right, and we are seeing Piece of Soap enter the West Meridia. And 2 items here, so I expect that they were going to go head up. And yeah, I think this is a good 2. Take the save. Just did 15 minutes worth of stuff. And these Meridia enemies, we do have Varia. Our Varia provides full protection against our enemies, but some of these enemies up here are really annoying. These fish, this ouch thing that sticks out of the ground. Don't want to take a death here, and if you do, you want to have that save. I mean, it actually might even be faster to check all the items at beach here and just reset to the save if you don't like what you see. So that's another reason just to save scum it. These silly bugs that fly at you, I don't know what they're called. These are the worst. Piece of Soap just blowing up with a power bomb. I approve. Not gonna deal with them. The menus. That's what they're called. There's a few items that can say, oh, what is this? High jump and Varia. We will not be safe scumming this. Goodness. I hope for IP's sake that they check this too. This could be... I mean, you could end up looking for a long time for both of those items, really. I mean, the runners are almost in go mode already. Obviously, they're going to want more stuff. They need more health. They're going to want more power bombs, more, probably another beam. But wow. Speed is giving items early. Gonna save again. That's just, I can't believe that was so good. I'm gonna lock it in. Come on, IP, go up. Do not search for transitions. I know it's tempting. Full area, it's tempting to go look for transitions. IP, you're gonna want to come back. Yes, yes, IP. Okay, well, at least you can come back with a save. Please stay here. There we go. All right, that's good. This is definitely the best. I mean, even if you find other ways into West Meridia, this is definitely the transition to be at to check these items here. And it looks like the top of West Meridia has an access to criteria, which has another 2 items. Items are being a little spread out, but at the same time, we got all the good ones early. And finding Croc with just 1 item and already having both suits. I think it's a reasonable skip here. Although pieceofsoap might be thinking about it, might be just updating the local tracker. Runners are allowed to use an area tracker as long as it's manually entered. You can have a program to do it. You can use, I think there's a Varia Randomizer provides a tracker you can use, but it just doesn't autofill in. IP finding those items. We'll see how much pieceofsoap wants to look through this areas. I mean, it's almost tempting at this point with having both suits to kind of like look for the majors as you go, as opposed to full committing to an area. The only thing the runners really need is some way to get into east to where the Dragon boss is, like to get past Botwin. And they and they don't even technically need that, but I guess they're probably not going to go find Dragon at this point. IP has that information, but even then, I don't think he's going to go all the way back there to do it. So the runners, assuming they don't go back to fight Dragon early, they are going to need some way to get to Botwin. Oh yeah, pieceofsoap picking up the item. You could choose to just not pick up the item, which honestly I probably would have done. But then again, it is a pretty quick fight, so admittedly, I would not have done it if I didn't already have Varia. I'm taking every E-tank until I get Varia. And the runners do need that third E-tank. It's not like they're going to have to find it somewhere. And full countdown, it can be pretty stingy with the E-tanks. This is already pretty good, actually, having 3 already. Especially with Varia or Gravity already, the damage reduction. Interesting, both runners making this play up. I probably would have been stuck going down West Meridia, but IP continuing to follow in pieceofsoap's footsteps here. pieceofsoap, did they check the back of Gauntlet? I didn't see if they did. I didn't see what was back there. Okay, no check. Because yeah, I think I don't know, maybe they didn't. Well, they would have had power bombs. I don't know. Might have just forgotten to do it, and then but now you're already here. It's like, well, I might as well go get it. There are 3 items back this way. These wall jumps can be a little bit tricky. They're delayed wall jumps. You can't just push right and jump immediately. You need to delay your jump a bit, but you delay it too much, and then you don't wall jump at all. They are a little bit tricky to get used to. It does get easier with time. And I'm sure it gets harder when you're in a race. Oh, just a reserve tank and missiles up there, so I mean, unless this is speed booster, it's probably not gonna be worth this. Ice eyes would be pretty nice too. And again, maybe it's screw attack, and maybe your low and Orpher becomes significantly easier. 3 E-tanks is, with this loadout, is not good for low and Orpher, really. It would not be easy. A lot of those enemies, even with bolt suits, it's just not going to be easy to do that. I totally understand the runners wanting to commit to a few more majors before potentially running into lower Norfair and having to skip it or having a really tough time with it. Oh, that's a great point. I didn't even think about high jump affecting the timing. You're absolutely right. And Piece of Soap was going for the normal method. With high jump, you only need to do one of those jumps. I think you jump off the middle ledge instead of the first and third, but it's a little bit tougher. It's even harder to do it with high jump, to do it the way he was trying to do it with first and third. I'm just surprised he got it that way. That is not easy. That's significantly harder, actually. Does find wave beam, which is nice because it does add to your charge output. It is going to give the runners the opportunity to X Factor if they want to, and it's just one less item that you have to worry about being here in Criteria. I'd be choosing to go the other direction. I like this. Let's see what the transitions are. And Piece of Soap picking up that reserve tank, which, you know, who knows when you're going to see another E-tank. I don't mind that play. Finding more power bombs, that's always nice. And with high jump, I think it's just one wall jump to get up this way. Oh, you don't even need a wall jump, really. You just jump and then wall jump off the ledge there, yeah, like that. Yeah, it's fairly simple. Well, we find Red Bryn. IP is going to go check the other transition and see what else there is. And then probably go back and return to Red Bryn, unless this is yet another Red Bryn exit. No items in Red Bryn, which is pretty common. Don't have to worry about the X-ray check to see. But Red Bryn's still a very nice place to find more transitions. Ooh, Upper Norfair, 3 items. Gotta imagine we'll stay here. Oh, where are you going? 3 items! Maybe... Oh, interesting. I'm confused. 3 items but no bosses. I gotta find myself a boss. I am not sure what's going on. IP just has to get that BT fight in, I guess. Okay. Also choosing to take the E-tank. I mean, on the one hand, it can feel bad to leave a number behind. You know, you know there's a 1 here. You know it might be the thing you need. It could be the speed booster. On the other hand, Criteria is kind of a trolly place. These items are all spread out. There is a door transition down here, so this could be trade potentially. I think I would take the risk that maybe you're going to just find that transition searching around Red Tower or Upper Norfair potentially. Let's see what IP chooses to do here with that extra E-tank. And it looks like they are going to commit to it, so it looked like we might get a little more route versions. IP certainly has more information. I don't think Pieceofsoap has made those transition checks. Although IP might return for that gauntlet check. Let's see, still eluding us where this other major is. Is this really going to be Criteria Supers? Is it going to be Waterway with 1 and Criteria Supers with 1? I'm sure the runners would love that. Well, I suppose that does tell them Speed Booster's not here, and they can continue going on without worrying about leaving Speed Booster behind. So even that isn't so bad. Yeah, that's a good point. That maybe they're just looking for more stuff. I mean, Upper Norfair is certainly a lot safer with both tanks, or both suits, and at least one E-tank. It's not free. And you never know where you're going to run in that Lower Norfair. This is still kind of questionable output for Lower Norfair. We're getting there. Especially with if you can have crystal flash ammo like IP does, as the Pieceofsoap could really benefit from one more power bomb for that crystal flash ammo. Although without bombs, they really need those power bombs to traverse Lower Norfair. So even then, they really wouldn't be able to crystal flash for their health. So, yeah. Yep, that's a good point. We do have enough ammo and suits to be able to kill all the bosses, and we got charge wave as a backup. Still looking for this one item. It's going to be right here at the end. And I think we just have... Okay, so it's just 2 left. There's 5 supers, and there's Criteria power bombs way up high in the sky. The runners will not be able to get to that. One of those is hiding something. It just seems to always be that way. I think the Varia randomizer likes to do that. To hide stuff in the hard to get places. Here's the front of Lower Norfair. We do have the equipment to be able to do this, but it wouldn't be very much fun. And only 3 power bombs going in. I probably hope to find the other entrance. You know, I haven't seen too many tunnel seeds in this week, but with full area, it's certainly possible to have a tunnel where this could be. It could be created at the other end. This could be the only Lower Norfair entrance. Pieceofsoap going to go try for that gravity jump. Fortunately, it's not very costly if you miss it, unless you get hit by the Name. Even then, well, I guess it would be kind of costly because you'd have gravity suit off. But with having the Varia suit as well, the heat ticks down very slowly. Actually, even slower than vanilla, because with vanilla, Varia provides, I think, half environmental damage or something like that, whereas in the rando settings here, Varia provides 75% damage, so that lava is like barely hurting at all. Alright, and here's some route diversion, perhaps aided by the fact that IP is still looking for 2 items of criteria, choosing not to go into Lower Norfair. So we'll see if Pieceofsoap wants to. Did they take the save? They may want to head over to GT and see if GT's got items. Although it is going to be tricky to get out. I don't know if this might be a one-way trip if they don't find speed. Gets the gate glitch. They don't have regular bombs, so there's no IBJ up. There might be a running jump you can do with high jump to get out. I think you're supposed to have speed booster for that. A running jump out of that refill door. And There's also like a super precise wall jump you can do just with high jump. It's kind of stupid. I think you might need like a CWJ momentum type thing as well. It's at least as hard as the frame perfect or pixel perfect wreck ship worst room. Sorry, pixel perfect worst room in the game jump without high jump. It's at least as difficult as that, is my understanding. But piece of soap finds nothing. Nope's out of there. Doesn't have to worry about escaping. I wonder if IP is going to check the gauntlet items. And the ironic thing is, as soon as they do that, they're going to realize there's only 3 items left. Okay, they're not doing that. They're bailing on it. Okay. Like, once you check gauntlet, you're still going to realize there's something in gauntlet, or high probability there is. Okay, so IP is going to check these bottom 2 West Meridia transitions. Oh, IP did look at the back already. Oh, that's right. They saw the reserve in the missile pack. That's right. Thank you, chat. Keeping me honest. This was a good idea from Piece of Soap here to farm up these power bombs. 2 free bombs, each of these guys. And with no regular bombs, you really want to be at pretty close to full capacity. IP finding the nicer side of Upper North Fair and finding the worst side of East Meridia with 2 items in it as well. Items continue to be a little bit spread out. Piece of Soap looks like he's going to need 3 power bombs. If you lay both power bombs right up next to the pillars, you can get through it just 2. But 3 is also fine. They have enough. I do like save. I guess he's got plenty of supers too. I do like saving the power bombs for these enemies. This works too. Clearing out the first 2 and maybe okay. He's going to try to missile these 2. These guys take a lot of hits. They're pretty annoying. But no speed. You know that trick that's often seen in PRKD. That uses speed booster to get the correct height for the power bomb. We don't have speed booster, so not an easy way to execute that either. Meanwhile, it looks like IP's just finding a bunch of regular ammos. At least found a E-tank as well. Gravity was found at Edikins. And then Varia and High Jump were found in Meridia Beach. So they had both suits like 15 minutes in, I want to say, maybe 20 minutes in. Both shoots and high jump. I'm trying to remember where charge is. I've already forgotten where charge was. Was there anything there at IP? Did he just peek something? I want to say I saw a grapple beam somewhere. Was that grapple beam? Am I just imagining things? I might be imagining things. It was just PBs? Okay. Oh no, did Piece of Soap fall back down this, oof. Oh, that really stings. Oh, it was grapple. Okay. There's speed booster. This crumble shaft can be really tricky to get out of. Although I guess once you get speed booster, you won't have to get out of it. That's awfully convenient. Why can't this happen in my randos? So there is a trick of, oh, looks like IP's knows the trick. That was very nice. Did you see how IP broke spin before landing on those platforms? And when you do that, you can buffer the jump. I don't think you can jump too soon. It's almost like the developers put that room in to try to demonstrate that Samus has this auto jump feature. You can buffer your jumps if you press jump a few frames before you land. Although I don't think you can be doing a spin jump when you do it or something weird like that. IP showing off that tech to get out of there. Yeah, why? Okay. Yeah, I was kind of confused why Piece of Soap was back at the screw attack area. I wonder if he might know about this. It's not going too well. But we'll see. Yeah, I'm not too surprised. It's kind of like, you know it's not going well, but you also know that you really want it to work out. You know, you want that speed booster to be right on the corner. That means that your opponent isn't going to find that speed booster right away. That's what you're hoping for. Let's see, IP's going to check another transition here. And the entrance to Croc is Red Tower, which has a lot of unchecked transitions. IP, I believe, is the one who found Dragon. But Dragon is so far away. So, for those joining a bit late, runners started in Green Bryn. The bottom two transitions in Green Bryn are front of Wreck Ship and G4. And there's 0 items in Wreck Ship. So there's very little incentive to go back to that Wreck Ship location and fight Dragon until you're like ready to be done. Especially for IP. If IP saw that grapple, they might want to go get that grapple if they can. It's speed and high jump. I believe they could get to that. Oh, I didn't see which transition this was. Somewhere in Red Tower. Okay. I'll mark that off on my map here. I'm kind of keeping track of this. There's no way I could keep track of this in my head. That's good information. So IP probably going to check the other transition, and they're almost at that point where they could go to. They certainly could go to Lower North now if they wanted to. And depending on what this transition is. Oh, well, here's the other boss location they need. Oh, they're out of power bombs, though. Oh, boy. They're going to want power bombs. Oh, I mean, yes, you have speed booster, but no, don't go anywhere without those power bombs. I would have probably checked those aqueduct the 2 aqueduct items. Hope there's power bombs there too. I'm not sure they can get stop blocked because they have the speed booster, but that's true. Botchwoon might just drop a bunch of power bombs. It's just kind of a inherent fear. Oh, rough situation for Piece of Soap. Those amphitheater, it's tricky. That's really unfortunate. Piece of Soap was about to be able to check a few more item locations too. But yeah, as far as having 0 power bombs, at least IP did get 2. I think there's just an inherent fear of having 0 bombs at any time in randos. Because you can just be doing normal movement and you enter an area and it's like, oh, I need to bomb out to get out of here. And I can't. Using to use this location to fill up on supers. These enemies can drop power bombs as well at a very slow pace. Oh, this is unfortunate for Piece of Soap having to abandon it. It's probably the right play. That's where that screw attack would make such a big difference. Yeah, the Puyus do have a better drop chance of power bombs for sure. Yeah, so IP did manage to get 2 power bombs out of that in addition to like 20 supers. It's about the right ratio. But 4 is plenty for where he's at. We're about to come up to another item check here at the Precious Missiles. Even though IP is in technically go mode, I'm sure He doesn't even have wave beam yet. He's going to want at least one more beam or a lot more supers. And Zeb Skip is kind of, I mean, they don't need to Zeb Skip, but again, you'd be cutting into your supers for the Mother Brain fight if you don't Zeb Skip. Zeb Skip would be pretty tricky with just speed. Get those. Yes. You know, there's no boss kills, but I'd say a lot of knowledge. I mean, IP in particular knows where 3 of the 4 bosses are, just missing Kraid. Which, I wonder if Kraid's going to be at the back of Wreck Ship. Oh, sorry. When I said Kraid, I meant Kraid's lair. Yeah. But this is Kraid, yes. We still have a couple of transitions in Red Tower that haven't been checked, if my tracking is correct. I don't know, maybe my tracking is not correct. I don't completely trust that. Meanwhile, Kraid not taking too long to take down. Kraid with the 0 on it, so no point in checking the item. And IP thinking, should I go look for more items? Not everything in East Meridia is opened up. There could be something at Plasma. And at least if you're checking for items at this point and you don't find a major, you might find supers. So earlier on, I wasn't so sure about like committing to criteria, but now that we're later into the seeds, like, well, you might as well check things on the way. And there's definitely some stuff that could be looked at on the way here in East Meridia. Well, where did Piece of Soap find Kraid's lair at? Is this not a Red Tower? We'll have to check. We'll have to check when he leaves. Piece of Soap in good shape to be able to take on whoever this boss is, whether it's Phantoon or Ridley. IP, did he check Aqueduct already? I don't think he did. So IP not saving here, that's probably because in area rando, when you fall down these sand pits and you head left, it takes you back into East Meridia. Instead of putting another portal there, they just kind of like made a new way of getting. It kind of like loops around itself. Oh, there's that screw attack. Okay, IP is definitely in the lead at this point. Probably was in the lead before, but now is just gonna have so much easier time with that Lower North Fair. And Lower North is right there too. They're gonna come right out of East Meridia and head right to Lower North Fair. Probably would have picked up that super pack if he had Spring Ball, but without Spring Ball, it's kind of annoying to get it. I understand that skip. Meanwhile, Piece of Soap did find Phantoon. It's like Phantoon's already over half dead here. This is interesting. IP, I don't know why they'd go this way. Is this the way they came in? No, they should. They want to go back to Lower North Fair. IP might be realizing it. Like, wait, why am I going this way? Or it's possible they forgot the area rando loops the map around the way that it does. You know, you wouldn't normally head left here to get back to. You know, the way that IP is going is the way you would normally go in a vanilla map if you'd already beaten Dragon. So that might be what they're thinking. Phantoon is down. Pretty easily done. Yeah, these sandpit rooms without space jump are no fun. Or even worse without gravity, although fortunately I don't believe it's in logic. You're not ever required to come down here without gravity. And there it is, the wraparound screen transition. And there we go. There's the aqueduct checks. Trying to jump over that missile. Not that easy to do, but those missiles could be helpful. Oh, and it was bottom of Red Tower that had the crate location. And this is another transition we haven't seen yet. And it's the West Meridian one. So that leaves the back of Rick's ship to go to the kind of far right of Upper Norfair. I need to fill in some boss locations as well here. Yep, full map knowledge, and we know that Ridley is hiding in Lower Norfair. And IP is just in ammo mode at this point. And even then, they could finish this with charge. It'd be a little tight with this health plus supers plus not having ice. They're probably going to want to look for more stuff. IP, Lower Norfair. Lower Norfair, go back. Go back. It's right there. You got screw attack. IP on a mission. They have not checked the bottom trip portals here in Red Tower, so that's probably where they're headed. Meanwhile, Piece of Soap finding the back of East Meridia. Probably pondering life. Why did I have to find the back of East Meridia? Nobody likes there. And comes back out. And we know the front is in Red Tower, so that's a reasonable decision. Plus 3 items still in Upper Norfair. I don't think IP found any of those 3 items. But IP should be finding the entrance to Kraid's Lair very shortly here. They'll be happy to see that. Yeah, just missiles here at the high jump location. I didn't remember what it was, just that it was some ammo. Yeah, we're still, I think, sitting on 4+1, maybe 4+2. I can't remember if the runners have seen both 2 reserves or not. Oh, that's true. IP did pick up speed, so he has one of those 3 items. He peaked grapple. He never did get it. And at this point, doesn't really need grapple. I guess it would help with Dragon. That'd be the only reason. You've got speed booster for Dragon. You've got a lot of ammo for Dragon. So Area Rando, if you're not already aware of it, you get a full refill. So normally you might think, oh my gosh, Green Bryn. You'd have to go all the way from Green Bryn through Meridia to get to the ship, long trip. And of course, then you burn all your ammo on Dragon. You have no ammo for Turian. Well, as soon as you go down the Turian elevator, you get a free refill of ammo. So the runners don't need to worry about that. They can just unload all of their ammo on Dragon before they head to Turian. IPGs need to get fully stocked up here. Only 1 power bomb. Again, IP is making me really nervous with this power bomb management. They need 1 to get out of Kraid's lair. So if for some reason Fantoon drops 0, they better not waste that 1. Usually Fantoon will drop a few, though. And Piece of Soap finds that speed booster. Oh, so close. I'll get it. It looks like they're also trying to do the trick there. I saw them break and spin there, trying to buffer those jumps. That's definitely the way to do it. Oh. Yeah, that's the right technique. That's very well done. That room can be terrible. I would have probably been falling to the bottom every time. Like, I can either do that room well, or I'm falling to the bottom every time. There's no in between. And once it starts going bad, and Piece of Soap remembering, hey, now I can exit this way and check another transition. They are now going to find the middle of Red Tower. You having a little bit of trouble with this fancy fight, but we're almost there. And it does have charge beams, so and screw attack, so they don't really have to worry about enraging Fantoon. I believe Fantoon's in the final stage now. There we go. And Piece of Soap is going to see what else is in Upper North here. There's still something we don't know here. See how easy it is to find. Oh, those supers are nice. Okay, IP did get a couple more power bombs. They're still making me nervous at that power bomb count. I think that's really good to know for randos is which enemies give you power bombs too, and remembering to visit those enemies. Like this room right here. Go left. Go left. Ah, 4 free power bombs in that room. Plus an item check. I'm taking that every time. Pieces up doing this this jump here. Without high jump, it's almost impossible. With high jump, you just have to find the right height. There we go. Not too bad once you get in the right spot. Find another E-tank. That's always nice. Especially since they don't have screw attack. And that screw attack's decently well hidden. Not clear if Piece of Soap is ever going to find that screw attack. I believe Hype found that in the left sand pit. Yeah, that's Wave. Wave was the gauntlet item, the one you couldn't peek at. So pretty unlikely IP's gonna find that. IP was on a good roll of finding supers. Hasn't found any lately. But really only needs a few more. Although if they have to missile the Zebs, it'll take a little bit more time too. And of course, these runners have no idea that where they are in the race. We're on 10-minute delay. You're not supposed to be stream sniping anyway. And so IP doesn't know that he could just missile the Zebs and refill and still be fine. All right, Pieces of finding another E-tank. We take those. And what's going to be behind Speed Booster? Now IP's going to Lower Norfair. With 2 power bombs? Oh, at least he's saving. Okay. That makes you feel better. Admittedly, with the back of Nordorfer and Screw Attack, I think he can farm up power bombs here. He's gonna want to, though. He's gonna want to farm like all of these enemies down here, except for, of course, these key hunters. Oh, that's nice. So I'm still looking for that last Upper Norfolk item. Can't be too many more places it's hiding now. Find some power bombs. All right, these alcoons or dragons or whatever they're called, they drop. Oh, that's really helpful. He's still gonna want power bombs, but that's a nice bailout there. And he's still finding space jump. That's a nice item to have too. Unlikely IP's gonna have that, but I don't think that IP's gonna need it. Yes, get these drops. Yes. Okay, honestly, now IP probably doesn't even need to check Fire Fleas. Although he probably will because there's no major item out. Or not. They might finally be comfortable for loadout. Or maybe they figure they're going to get on the way back, which is actually a good idea because you're probably going to check the Ridley item. You're probably going to check Power Bomb's a shame. Needs to show finding that back of Rick's ship. Do they know where this goes? They checked this. They must have checked at least. They must at least know this goes back to Green Bryn. Yeah, I'm kind of. Maybe they've forgotten, or maybe they didn't check it. I don't know. It's possible they did. If they don't know this goes back to Green Bryn, this is a reasonable play. If you do know it goes back to Green Bryn, you know how out of a way that is. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But Area Rando, we're almost an hour in. That's kind of the point where you start to lose your sanity a bit with all of the different options and things. And so, from pieceofsoap's perspective, this is a boss that I haven't beaten. I'm capable of beating all bosses with this loadout. Let's just do it. That could be the thought process. And not really thinking about where you're going to go next after that. There's just been something about once the divergence happened, it seemed like IP just found the better route. Because after this, it's just going to be heading back to Green Bryn, grab Rick's ship, and on to Turian. I'd be trying to get a few more supers for this fight. Still sitting on just charge. Still not in ammo go mode, I don't believe. Like, definitely not in ammo go mode. Kind of begin this count. Kind of surprising. I imagine IP has been skipping missile packs, but just hasn't found much for ammo. Hasn't found any supers lately. Although that's very interesting. IP could just do wreck ship for as much ammo as he needs until he gets what he's comfortable with. It's kind of a free area at the end of the game that you can just that hasn't scouted yet. So all kinds of item checks to be able to make there. I think you just got grabbed and Rick is dead. Yep. Yeah, it really has to be high enough when he grabs you in order to realize that he's dead and should swoop to the middle. If he's in the middle of poking and he's low, he'll take you for a ride instead. IP still skipping those missile packs. I understand it, but at some point you're gonna have to start taking them. Well, actually, okay, so I guess he's got charge. He doesn't have to take them ever. I take it back. I would not really want to rely on a charge fight. Yeah, it's what Beep to the Boop said is 100% correct. I'm pogoing. I can't be dead. And Piece of Soap is gonna jet out of the back direction here, get back to path forward. IP. Interesting to see if IP tries to go out the front of Lore and Orfair. Routing wise, I'm not sure that's that much difference. I'm not going to spend the next minute staring at my map to confirm that. I'm already looking at it like, nope, I don't know which way's faster. Glad I don't have to decide. Choosing to at least maybe check that fireplace? Nope. IP's decided they're in go mode. Perhaps more comfortable with a charge fight than I am. Oh, they do find the other item. It's Spring Ball. Unfortunately, that is a terrible location for Spring Ball. Really? Just past the Spring Ball maze? Come on, game. Come on. I can't even be upset at IP for skipping it. He's still taking some time to farm up. They should know. Oh, well, I guess they know it's either Dragon or Ridley, their next boss, and they want to be prepared. Either way. Or no, Piece of Soap just took out Dragon. I guess he doesn't know it could be Kraid. Oh, Piece of Soap did that Dragon fight pretty quickly. I didn't even... I wasn't paying enough attention to it. Alright, so we'll see what path the runners are taking here. Does Piece of Soap know this heads back to Criteria? Yeah, I don't think I wonder if they're going to check Moat now. I don't think that they've made those checks. Oh, I know. I do that all the time. I'll leave that power bomb there for that room. IP heading back to the game's worst transition, in my opinion. Does make it through. Oh, okay. They're making their way back towards Green Bryn. Will IP check Waterway? They know it's a major. They have gravity and speed booster, so it'll be not too bad of a check. He's still picking up that grappling beam. It was right on their way. They now have all the Upper North Fair items. You're asking, is there one left in East Meridia? I think there is one in East Meridia still. Yeah, these beams seem to be all spread out. We've seen Spring Ball, we've seen Space Jump, so it's just the beams. Oh, so that means there must be a beam at... So it would definitely be worth IP's time to go get this, to make this check. No matter what that beam is, it's going to be helpful. We'll see if they choose to do it. They don't know that. This could be Space Jump, although maybe they'd want Space Jump. From their perspective, we know it's not Space Jump. Oh, it could be X-Ray. Heck, I just jinxed it. You're right, I don't think we've seen X-Ray. I'm sorry in advance. Alright, so it looks like Piece of Soap is going to be heading towards Crade. They do have speed boosters, so they have what they need to get there. They're in much better shape, I'd say. They've got, I guess, same super count, but 20 more missiles, plus they've got Charge Wave for a combo. They're much more in go mode, I would say, for the ammo perspective. They're just further away than IP is. One boss behind. IP is going to make this check. And it's Spazer. IP is probably happy to see that. That makes a big difference. Especially considering how close IP already is to ammo go mode. So even if IP is unable to do the speed zep skip, or just chooses not to because it's not worth the time of like 6 attempts to do it or whatever, they're going to be in pretty decent ammo shape. And they've got plenty of health as well. They could just take a save right there if they're worried about it too. So yeah, this is much more comfy. Worst beam? What are you talking about? Come on, this is why it's the best beam. I mean, legit, that MV fight is not easy. This could be the difference between IP taking a few tries to get through MV and getting it first try with no problems. Getting that space. I'd rather find supers and phaser. Yeah, easy to say when you got charge beam. That's all I'm going to say about it. I'm just not watching Piece of Soap screen quest enough. He just took down another boss. I didn't even see it. I mean, unless he saw Crade and just noped out, I don't think he did that. I'm guessing that was a quick kill. Ever since Piece of Soap got that space jump, he seems to be picking up the pace here. It's just unfortunately not going to be enough of a difference, I think. The lower Norfair play, it was a gutsy call. It's just so much easier with screw attack. That's really what it comes down to. So checking these majors doesn't necessarily mean that they don't think they're in go mode. It just might be one of those things like, hey, I'm here. This is 2 items. If they're both supers, that would be fantastic. If even one of them supers, that'd be great. Reasonable decision to check those items. And that's the last boss down for IP. Now they've got that charge Spazer combo. They don't need that missile pack at all. I learned today that wave beam doesn't even hit those key hunters. Not that piece of soap was going to try to kill them, but charge wave does, I'm sure. But regular wave shots don't hurt the key hunters. But you know what does hurt the key hunters? Regular spazer. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, Screw Attack's slightly more effective against those key hunters. Just slightly. Piece of soap finding bombs, but doesn't really need them. That's okay. They're there. I understand the pickup. Would have done the same thing. Oh wow, piece of soap is potentially going to find this spring ball. Maybe just wants a couple more supers. Nicely done. All right, piece of soap officially done. GG at 111.50 with that spring ball pickup. Excellent fight for piece of soap today. Fortunately, IP's got plenty of health here. Not going to have to worry too much about these Metroids. There is actually a trick to get all four of them to kind of come rush you. If you lay the power bomb in a certain place, if you kill one of those first four, if you kill one of the Rinkas in rooms 1 and 3, you can get all the Metroids to rush you, which is really convenient. But when you've got 70 tanks or 60 tanks in reserve, it's not important. Ooh, I don't think that hit at all. Or maybe one hit. Yeah, IP, that's their Metroids aren't getting hit by that. You're leading the Metroids away from the power bombs. Stick dodge. 2 in a row. That was pretty good. Oh man. But fortunately, it didn't have the standard 15 power bombs. Had an extra pack even. So really not going to be a problem. Meanwhile, piece of soap is almost to. This is piece of soap's last boss. Neither myself or the tracker saw it, but I'm pretty sure piece of soap did take care of Grade. This should be piece of soap's last boss. Deciding to throw in a shine spark here for fun. I know, he was quick. We missed it. IP thinking about the baby skip. Really, probably would have needed to refill energy anyway. Piece of soap choosing to mix in some missiles with supers. I like that. You know, when you're not sure if you're going to hit Ridley, spam them with the missiles. Those supers do double damage against Ridley. You definitely want all of those to hit if you can. Trying to probably get Ridley in a pogo. Make it a little bit easier to get those supers to land. IP does choose to take out the first door. Save just a little bit more ammo. Ridley's got to be dead soon here. Oh yeah, Ridley's definitely dead. I like the save. We have had a few very close rando races, but normally it's not going to be the difference of 20 seconds. And all it takes is one bad catch-up hit, and you're kind of in trouble. Not bothering with Zeb Skip. Don't blame. It's pretty tight short charge. Yeah, this Sprinkas and all this stuff, it's just kind of a lot more annoying without ice for some reason. The damage starts to rack up. Soap needs to be a little bit careful with damage too. No screw attack. Still doing fine, but the problem with this low and warfare rooms here is you'd want to save, except when you do save, it puts the key hunters in a terrible position, and it's like you're just guaranteed to get hit a few times when you do save. So it ends up not being worth it to save here. But yeah, this key hunter's not easy. Still probably okay as long as oh no. Oh, are they? What are they doing? I don't know what Piece of Soap is doing here. I don't recommend this at all. They're trying to get into Crystal Flash range, but they don't have the supers. No, Piece of Soap. Oh goodness, he had 3 reserves. 3 reserves. He's actually fine with the key hunters. Oh, this is unfortunate. You hate to see it. Oh, he might have actually been able to make it. Still gonna make it? Oh, Bill almost made that. That's crazy. Falling down where he did, and then having those lasers shoot above him, he really couldn't afford to take that hit. Well, IP having a little bit of trouble here. Choosing to fire all the supers, so not waiting for the red beam. Okay, so I don't know how many reserves IP had. Piece of Soap had 3. I don't remember even seeing 3. Where he got all those. One of them would have been Gauntlet. IP definitely doesn't have more than 2. Right now, only needs 1. Okay, good. Dodging that. This is a fairly long stage of the fight with Charged Phaser. It's not like impossibly long, but you definitely feel your hands tense up here during this fight. Like, you just have to be ready to jump at every moment. Time these jumps here. That was well done there. Just a short hop jump, not a full jump. Okay, well, IP definitely has more than 5 in his reserves. Did only have the 1 reserve tank. Woo! Woo! Oh, you know what? Piece of Soap only had 2 reserves. I was in my head counting the reserves as if he had no Varia and was thinking he did have 2 reserves. Not very good. That makes more sense. I could not pick because Liz Paisley would have had 3 tank reserve tanks. That would have been a little bit tougher without that phaser. Having just, I mean, I don't even know how much longer the fight is. It's probably at least double the length of what you just saw. Having a charge beam by itself versus charge phaser. Might be more than double the length of that. It's a pretty long. I mean, the low percent speed category where it's a 300 chop fight, it's pretty darn long. Yeah, you'll see a lot of runners kinda opt to save their last 15 supers, 'cause not have to worry about the catch-up, but the thing is, it's MB is pretty predictable with the catch-up, so I like the play to do the supers first and save your charge spacer for later in the fight. The only problem is you don't know when the fight's gonna start really, but that part of the fight's gonna start, but it's just nerve-wracking. You're just death gripping the controller is the only problem as opposed to so it's nerve-wracking, but you also have a pretty good idea of what Mother Brain's gonna do in the red beam phase. That answered my question to ask her. So, however long we saw IP fighting with charged phaser with red beams, it would have been double that length if we did that with phaser. And it would have taken a little bit longer to get to that segment of the fight, too. This time, Piece of Soap finding that energy tank that it was mentioned in chat earlier that was over here, they're going to be good to get out of lower nerve now. It's at least that last mistake didn't really cost them. It was just kind of that early decision. I think Piece of Soap was actually a little bit ahead, but IP had a little bit more knowledge, so it was kind of questionable who was actually ahead. But Piece of Soap deciding, I'm going to take on this pretty difficult lower north segment, IP noping out. It ended up being the difference. And yeah, it's just one of those things, randos can be that way. I mean, if Piece of Soap finds Screw Attack early, maybe they could have made that play work. Although I suppose I don't know how they were getting, like, if they found Screw Attack at Screw Attack, I don't know how they were getting out of there, so that would have been a problem there. They are committed to this amphitheater. It's a lot more manageable now, though, with their health situation. Meanwhile, IP just one more room to go here. I just love they put these rooms at the end of the game. Clearly had speedrunning in mind. And GG's. Or incompetent perfectionist. I gotta go look up the race room to see what the official time is. Didn't bother to do that ahead. All right, official time was 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 19 seconds. And with the Piece of Soap already having all 4 bosses down, pretty good chance that they're just going to push us out. And I believe we are joined by Incompetent Perfectionist? Maybe?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Hi. I'm good. Hands are a little sweaty after that Mother Brain fight. But
oh, no kidding. I've done that before with the red beam and just charged phaser, and yeah, it's like holding on your controller with a death grip, trying to.
Yeah, no, it's no joke. I mean, and I was sweating it because I knew that I'm not super practiced at no beam, low beam Mother Brain fights, so I was really sweating it before I found that spacer, because I really didn't know if I could do it with just charge. I've never done that before, so but I was gonna try, even if I had to fight her 5 times. It was that or spend 25-30 minutes looking for majors that were spread all out everywhere.
Yeah, I kind of figured you weren't going to look for more majors, but I thought you might go about that direction. Yeah, you might have PBs there.
No majors, and I had enough PBs to go without ice, so I was just sort of like, no.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking to get more ammo.
Right.
But of course, once you find the spacer, I thought it made sense to. I mean, at that point, you don't need the ammo.
I had full clear green Bryn, so I knew from like 10 minutes or 15 minutes in that Waterway was the only check left for the last major. So I actually wrote a little note. I was like, Waterway, don't forget Waterway. You know, so like I was about to do a really dumb move there at the end. I was about to go to Dragon before Ridley, which would have mean I would have had to climb I would have had to I could have not reclimbed Red Tower, and I could have gone straight, or I had to reclimb it or something. I don't remember. And I was going to go to Ridley, or I was going to go to Dragon and then Ridley, but then I would have had to go backtrack all the way through Green Bryn. I looked at my map for a second. I was like, nah, I need to do Ridley first, then Dragon, and straight to G4 because it's right there.
Yeah, I remember what you were talking about. We were wondering why you didn't go to Lower Norfair at that moment. I think you had a few more door transitions to check at least.
Yeah.
You did end up finding crates there.
Right. Yeah, that's where I started sweating when I couldn't find Kraid for a long time, and it was right there. I could have checked it the moment I got it to Red Tower. It was right underneath me. And that was kind of a bonehead move. I should have just checked that door. Like I felt like I was doing I was like Jet at first. Like every choice was right. I'm like getting the gravity, getting the variant, and then I sort of bogged down in the middle, doing a bunch of checks in a really unoptimal sort of way. And then once I felt like I was comfortable enough for go, then I kind of sped it back up and just tried to boss rush. And it seems like it was enough. But that middle section I would have done differently. 2020 hindsight.
It's funny to hear you describe that checking in an unoptimal way. So basically, you found criteria is what you're saying there. I mean, the whole place is just unoptimal.
Unoptimal for sure, yeah. But like, I think at that point I was really low on energy, and I was like, I need like baby-proof locations to just fill up, right? Like Criteria, Green Bryn,
right?
Parts of Wreck Ship, parts of Upper Norfair. Like I just needed those safe-ish spots to sort of load up until I felt more comfortable, and that's what happened. It just took a long time.
Yeah, fortunately, both of you found the Mori and high jump. Yeah, especially Piece of Soap actually got there first. I was concerned that you were going to slip by.
Yeah.
Especially since you left. I don't know if you remember leaving West.
Yes.
You got into West Meridian, you left, and then you turned around.
No, that's exactly what happened. I left, and I was like, "Oh no, that stuff's right there. Let's just look."
I mean, if you had skipped that, you're probably still a boss behind Piece of Soap at this point. I mean, you would have just been looking everywhere for that stuff, and who knows when you come back for it.
I kept oscillating between I'm going for items and I'm going for information, right? So
yeah,
I started to go into information mode, like I just wanted to blast on over to that other door and see what was there. But then I was like, no, let's. There's 2 here, and there's 3 checks pretty quick. So let's just do that. And I'm so glad I did. That was what a find. That was like the single most happy moment of the whole seed for me. I think just drop it down there and seeing both of those, I'm just like, what? Christmas morning.
Yeah, so the way it worked out in the race, you and Piece of Soap both made the same checks, not quite in the same order, but basically full cleared Green Bryn except Waterway. And you both checked the transitions. You chose to see the boss. Piece of Soap skipped that part, so that put you behind. But you were still mostly just following Piece of Soap until you got to Criteria, and then at that point, Piece of Soap made a cleared gauntlet, found Wave Beam. You didn't have that Wave Beam, but then when you found, I think you both found the Lower Norfair, front of Lower Norfair, and Piece of Soap decided to go for that, and you noped out of there, and that was where you kind of pulled ahead.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't able to make that play work. And then that just kind of put him a boss behind.
Oh man. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, like I was watching one of the races last night, and Junie was commenting, and they were talking about how some areas are like tubes, and you get stuck in these tubes, right? Like just a 2 entrance place, in or out, like Wreck Ship or whatever. The worst thing in the world is when there's a dead end at the end of a tube, or even worse, a series of tubes. And so then it's like, I was trying to keep that in mind, looking at my map, and really hoping not to get stuck in a tube looking for Kraid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was yeah. I don't know why I was just not interested in wreck ship at all. I guess this double zero item count didn't help.
Right. And with it being so close to G4, the only way that really would have helped you is if that had been like Kraid and like Moria had been there or something.
Right.
Otherwise, like
Yeah.
you just come back for it later.
Yeah.
Even if it's Pantone, it's just okay, great. You opened up a whole bunch of zero checks. It's not good. Game changing.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. I thought I did pretty well. This was one of my better performances in the tournament, I think. And, one of 2 wins for me. So I'm thrilled to have gotten 2 wins. That's amazing. I expected 0, to be honest. This is my first tournament, and the talent that's here is just amazing. So I'm really thrilled with how this race went out. And I have to say, Spazer is the single most time Spazer is the hero in my entire life. Like, that mother brain fight would have been double. Oh my god, I can't even imagine that.
I know our commentator completely agrees with you.
Not everyone's so happy to see Spazer.
I agree with you too. I meant to say the tracker.
That was the superstar beam for me this race. I would have rather had the phenomenal plasma, but can't get what you want. Got everything else real
I think
fast.
we ever saw it. Yeah, even that's the only major we're missing is the plasma. Just go down the other beams.
Yeah, where did he find space jump? That's my favorite.
I don't remember anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, did he find it in Upper Norfair? Was it the last Upper Norfair item?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I didn't do anything in Upper Norfair, really.
You found that speed booster.
Right, yeah.
You both found that. I think it must have been. Unless he found ice in Upper Norfair.
Yeah, must have. Because you said wave.
Top right above bubble, so we're thinking he found space jump at the wave location. I think that's kind of what I remember too.
Yeah, I also remember I had a moment where like you guys were probably screaming at me after I killed the Kraid in Meridia. I started to go the back route to get out, and I went down and checked a sand pit on the way, and I was gonna go up the tube and go out the back door because I thought I didn't know where it was. I was looking at the wrong spot on my track. I got all the way to that room, like the room where you go up the toilet, and then I was like, oh crap, I want to go where I just was, so I had to backtrack all the way back to the good East Meridia entrance. That was a big fumble, but
it was nice that he found screw release for that.
Right.
We weren't quite sure where you were going, but the only yelling that was going on is when you skipped all those places where you fell power bombs. Oh, here, what power bombs? Of course, you found regular bombs anyway, so you ended up not using the power bombs. But
I was sweating the power bombs going into Lower Norfair action, but I just didn't know where else I could farm really on the way there. So like I didn't think about it until it was too late, rather. And like I'm sure there was like 3 or 4 places along the way. Yeah. And then I got there, and when I found those bombs, I was like, oh, awesome! I just need 5. We're back to like any percent. So
yeah.
5 got bombs.
Yeah, you had no problem. Meanwhile, it looks like pieceofsoap got through that sub-skip, got through. You have a little bit easier time with this mother brain fight. Oh, jeez. Does take a big red beam to miss anything.
Yeah, stop it,
Still, does have beam combo except plasma, so basically any percent. Like, your speed out fight. Mother brain's almost dead at this point. This is not nearly as nerve-wracking. Even with that extra hit, no problem. Oh.
Yeah, I'm jealous of that.
I don't know if it's just me, but it's hard to hear you now. I think it's because we're in another brain fight. Yeah, it's a loud fight. I don't know if you wanna stick around and piece of soap finish. We could probably get piece of soap in there now, actually. If he just wants, I don't know if we'll do it again.
How's it sound now? Is it a little better?
Yeah, it is better, actually.
Awesome. Magic. Whoosh. Work my magic.
I don't even know how I did this. Somehow I was able to invite somebody to the chat early.
We're here towards the end anyway. Let's watch Piece of Soap save the galaxy.
Yeah.
Strat that Piece of Soap is doing with Mother Brain 3, I've never bothered to learn it. The up in your face, fastest hyper beam kill like that. I kept getting slammed by meatballs and stuff. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was good. It helps to have both the high jump and well, I don't know if you need speed boost really for it. Since you're just standing there, just high jump is what you need.
Yeah. Which we were blessed with. I don't think I've gotten high jump in literally any single practice seed.
Yeah, it tends to be elusive, to be honest. It was really convenient to find it so early. You guys were almost in go mode 20 minutes in, really. Like, it just, you didn't have much for ammo and beams and stuff, but
if that plasma had just been laying out in the open somewhere, I would have been like go, like as soon as I got that speed, and maybe felt like go even before that.
yeah, and I would have probably made it a lot closer to race because I suspect that it would have been a little bit easier to get through Lower Norfair, like the earlier play that Piece of Soap was trying to make. If you had that plasma, I don't know if it would have been enough to make a difference. But that was definitely that gave you a lead that he wasn't able to come back from.
Soap's parlor is much nicer than mine, so I need to take notes.
Well, it's always a little bit easier when there's less pressure, right? All right, and Piece of Soap finishing up with an official time of 1:38:41. GG's for Piece of Soap. And we'll see if they want to join or not. That's true. Piece of Soap did get the spring ball win earlier.
Yeah.
So whether his official time was 1:11:50 or 1:38:41, we'll just have to, it's open for interpretation.
All good.
All right, looks like Piece of Soap is just about here. I think they have to join. I don't know that I can. Yeah, I don't have the power to drag him in.
Yeah.
And we are joined by Piece of Soap.
Everybody, I hope you can hear me okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Good game, Perfectionist.
GG, Piece of Soap. That was awesome. I was watching your end game there, and you got some skills.
Oh, thank you. I definitely 2 games ago I was chided for not being aggressive enough in Norfair, and the past 2 games I've bitten off far more than I could chew down there, and I probably wasted a good 20 minutes to to pushing lower Norfair in ways I shouldn't have.
Yeah, I don't know if it would have been 15 minutes or 20 minutes. It certainly would have been a much closer race. And you definitely, once you got that space jump, it seemed like you were moving faster. It felt like you were gaining ground. It was just too much of a mountain to climb after that play didn't work out.
I believe it. Yeah, like after I'd finally made the decision to go back and explore the rest of the game, it's like, well, I have much better idea of what I can look for, what the layout is, and I'd gotten much more comfortable with the layout. And even then, I lost another chunk of time doing messing up Lower Norfair the second time.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that one wasn't as costly, but yeah, it was still unfortunate. I didn't realize you had so much. You had 2 reserve tanks too.
Yeah, well, you probably noticed that I was feeling a little uncomfortable. Like I was routing in that reverse acid climb and reverse lava dive, and then I realized after I'd gotten like I needed a little more energy, so I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and Crystal Flash.
Yeah.
And so I started lowering my my health, and then wait a sec, I've only got 1 super missile. And there's no good place to farm supers.
And then you were kind of unfortunate with when you did finally go for it. You kind of fell in that one crevice, and then the pirate was shooting lasers over your head. You had to wait.
Yeah.
Just nothing went right.
Lower Norfair is a very unforgiving place, especially without screw attack.
Absolutely.
IP lucked into finding the screw attack in a sand pit.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
complete routing blunder. I thought I needed to go the wrong way, so I went down the sand pit to go the wrong way, and then I realized, oh crap, I need to go back to where I just was. But my prize for my stupidity was screw attack, so that worked out.
Yeah, there's that really strange loop in Lower Norfair and Area Rando. It's just hard to get your brain around.
Yeah.
I know that by the time I was down there in East Meridian myself, like it was the case of like I know exactly where my bosses are. I'm only going to be grabbing items that I'm tripping over, so I didn't have to actually check those sand pits.
Yeah. I'm jealous you got space jump. I missed that the whole seed. I was like, where's my space? Where are you?
I'm trying to remember where that was.
We were debating that too. We think it was in the wave location.
Oh. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
I didn't do any Upper Norfair outside of Business Center. Like Bubble Mountain.
You got Speed Booster.
Right. But right. I guess I consider that connected to Business Center because it's right there.
Oh, right. You did the left half of Upper Norfair. You didn't.
Right. I didn't go right at all.
When I was in Upper Norfair, I decided I wanted to do a little more exploring and map out the other areas and hopefully find the other entrance to Lower Norfair, since the traditional entrance was giving me some problems.
It'll do that.
Well, you guys both avoided the troll week 7 seed at least. I mean, I thought we were going to be on a hunt for supers, and then they even gave them to you right through that super door.
Oh man, yeah. I was seriously, I stopped sweating for a moment as soon as I was like, okay, I've got power bombs and supers out the gate, so now I know I'm not gonna have to suffer so hard like those seeds make you do.
Yeah, and then when we found the gravity suit in Meridia, it's like, okay, I know I can finish this seed one way or the other.
Yeah, but that was a fun one. I felt like it was just giving us all the candy at first, but then it just was like, nope, no more for you, just missiles.
Yeah, no, the challenge was absolutely there in that seed. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed the setting, these presets.
Yeah, me too. I've had a blast learning. Like each week, I thought at the beginning of the tournament, I'm like, oh, I'll practice a ton for week 1, and then a lot of that'll carry over. Nope, none of it carries over. Every week, it's like starting from scratch because the modes are all so different.
Well, this format's been good for me because every week I feel like I'm picking up new tech. At the beginning of this, I didn't have next to any suitless Meridia tech. I didn't have a suitless lava dive tech. This tournament's pushed me to get better, and I'm really happy about that.
Same. Yeah, every single embarrassing thing I've done in the earlier races has led me to learning the strat to not embarrass myself that way the next time, so I've really picked up quite a few new tricks.
Well, I've embarrassed myself yet again doing pushing Lower Norfair too hard, but I'm getting better.
Nah, that wasn't embarrassing. It's rough.
Yeah, it's tough game, especially for Norfair. Well, that's without having. It's a little bit easier when you have speed, like you know what your loadout is every time. You've got the speed booster high jump combo, and you can do all the speed run tricks and everything. And it's a different deal when you're missing half of what you normally have. And you're trying to save your supers for the boss fight because you only got charge or maybe charge wave. It's not,
I knew that at least I had the grapple beam, so as long as I could get to the Ridley farm area, that I'd be okay. But I overestimated a bit.
It's just tough getting out too. A lot of enemies deal damage and stuff.
Rando has a way of making you want to bite off more than you can chew sometimes, and that's one of the challenges I've found is like, because you get stuff and you feel like it's pointing you in a way and you feel like I can do this, I can do that, and then there's just so many details that you forget about sometimes, like, oh wait, I don't have enough power bombs, or oh wait, I don't have a way out of the worst room in the game, or whatever the little detail it is. But like, you just get in this kind of mode where you're like, oh, I can do this, I can do that, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna just blast through and do whatever, but then you miss these details, and you have to have that pain as a teacher, these big failures where you're like, that would have been me if I hadn't found Spazer probably in my mother brain fight. Like, I was just like, just go, just do it, and I wouldn't have been able to probably. Not without a few deaths.
It might have taken more than one try, yeah.
Yeah.
There'd be no shame in that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, and that aspect of getting pushed to do things you shouldn't only gets ramped up when you're in a race setting. There's the idea like, oh, if I do this little bit of extra thing, I can get an edge on my opponent. If I can go for it, I should go for it. And one of the things I was telling myself early in the tournament was, wait up, play your own game. Don't try and play the meta.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I need to listen to myself more.
It's hard though, because you start to make a play, and then you feel like, well, if I turn around now, that's just going to put me behind. And so it's hard to know when to turn back versus continuing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can really want to make that play work so that at least I want to say when you went to LN, you didn't have Speed Booster yet.
You are correct.
If you find Speed Booster through that play, then you're going to feel ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I'd gotten all the way up to the acid climb and found no majors, so that really should have been the time for me to just turn around and just reset to that elevator and go do something else.
It's understandable though. It feels bad to turn around. But at least you did it. I mean, I think you did it at the right time. It could have been worse.
I appreciate that.
All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up. Did you guys have any last words?
Just thank you to SpeedGaming and thank all the SpeedGaming folks. Thanks to the organizers. Thank you, Idle Child, and our tracker. Who's our tracker here? I would have paid attention, but I was kind of racing. Beep, awesome. Thank you. Beep's awesome. Yeah, thank you, Beep. Thank you, Idle Child. Thank you, Piece of Soap, for a good race. I can't wait to watch it all the way back from start to finish.
I echo all of that myself. Good game, incompetent perfectionist. Thank you, Idle Child. Thank you, Beep to the Boop. And thank you, SpeedGaming. Good game.